back to the regularly scheduled programming. So there's your monthly level on Pepe. You guys got anything in the stream that you guys want to talk about? Any charts you guys want to look at? We can look at XRP because XRP is going to be a big player moving forward as well because they're deeply connected with Trump, and they're a U.S. based crypto company, and Trump wants to help U.S. based crypto thrive. So we may as well look at XRP. So here's XRP. I'm seeing us coming back down to this range low. Okay, that's what I'm seeing on XRP. Yep. So XRP, you're either going to get a puke down from what is this, $2 down to, that's not that much actually. You might come back down lower on XRP. So XRP is going to be a great hold for those of you who have large, let's call it amounts of capital, so that you want to preserve your capital in a way, and also you're not able to size in effectively to these smaller assets like Andy and Wolf. You know, if you got $1 million you want to size in with, yeah, you're not going to really want to go right into, $1 million of Wolf, because you're going to end up pumping the price on yourself. So if you got large bags, I personally also hold XRP. I would recommend grabbing some because Trump's going to help pump this. So locally, we're in this range on XRP, and XRP is one of the altcoins that has by far held up the best, which is very promising. So every other altcoin looks like this. This is every other altcoin. Is down here at this demand level, right? That's every other altcoin. Thoughts on Kaspa? Binance sniffing around the corner. Wallet 5 accumulating so much supply. Retesting support. About to release 10 blocks per second. I think April is uptime for this L1. So I'll take a look at that here in a second. So XRP has been holding up fantastically against other altcoins. So I'm expecting, if we get another puke on equities like we're expecting, and on ETH and Bitcoin, etc., this is my level for what's it called? XRP. Okay, this is the next demand level for me. So this is back down at $1.50, right? So drawdown, that would be from here. So maximum another like 25%. Okay, because if we lose this range low, we're coming back down for this demand. This is an FVG right here, fair value gap. This is going to get filled. So your FVG is right here. So that's your FVG. At the very least, you're getting this for sure. That's your FVG. Okay, so this is a gap between this wick. You could actually say this wick. Yeah, so that would be your FVG, right? And so best case scenario, you're only coming down maybe like another, now to fill it would be 22%, but I'm expecting a bounce probably like around 26% downside. Okay. So this is where, if you get this move back down into here on XRP, this is a fantastic bid spot. Okay. Because you come in, you fill the FVG, you retest this demand level. Okay. After that breakout of the range, and then you're going to do something like this. You're going to come back down, probably pop back up for a second, come back down into here, fill this, maybe do something like that. Boom. And then you're moving back up, right? That's what I'm expecting on XRP. So look for this FVG to get filled at 162, 160. And then the actual demand zone would be starting at around $1.50 to about $1.30 would be your area. $1.50 to $1.30. I would not see it coming back all the way down to retest this high, but it's possible. I wouldn't expect it though. Yeah, well, I don't think we're coming back down that low. 126. No, it's too strong right now. Okay, so that's XRP. Look for this FVG. Look for the top of this demand to get retested. That's your bid spot on XRP, right? Something like that. And then Kaspa. Personally, Kaspa, I'm not a huge fan of it anymore. But look how much further down this is broken down compared to XRP. Basically, it's done what XRP had might do, except much worse, in the sense much lower it's come. So you're not safe on Kaspa. Not necessarily safe, but you're coming down to at least here on Kaspa. Yeah. I mean, that would be your big demand zone. This would probably be, yeah. This would be your demand. Okay. So you're definitely coming back down lower on Kaspa, but it's just so much, it's just broken down so much further. This is basically what we were looking at on XRP, was around here. And it coming back down and just pumping back up. This already broke down past that, and it's coming down further. It's coming back all the way to, this was in April, yeah, 2023 levels. That's not good. So, I mean, we'll see. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I mean, it's definitely coming back down to this demand zone, but if it comes back down, you can't lose any of this. If you lose these highs on Kaspa, it's decimated. It's over. It's going back to zero. What am I looking for? What tool? This would have to be coming back down another 15% before we start tagging these highs. And it's not going to just stop at this first high. I mean, it's probably going to come back down into here. So you got another, I mean, that's a lot. That's actually a lot more than what it looks like. So another 30% down on Kaspa before you start hitting these support levels right here, this high, and then these lows. So you're definitely drawing down at least another 20 to 30% on Kaspa. And then you would have to, it has to hold in here. It has to come back down, and it has to start reaccumulating before moving back up. If you lose these lows and this high, so this level right here at 4 cents, right, 44.042 cents, you're cooked. So it would be the generational bid spot for sure, but I'm not bidding it until I see it come back down into this demand and start to reaccumulate and come back up out of it. That would be my play. The only other issue with Kaspa is it's definitely lost its hype that it had in 23 and 24, because it was looked at as a competitor to Bitcoin, basically doing the same thing with a little bit better technology and faster, cheaper. The only issue now I see with that is that Bitcoin has become adopted. That was before Bitcoin was a reserve asset for the U.S. government. That was before there was the Bitcoin ETF, et cetera, et cetera. Bitcoin has now been adopted to the point where it's going to become the world reserve asset over a long enough time frame. And the mere fact that they're going to use it as a reserve asset now takes away any negativity that you could have towards Bitcoin, because you're not going to need it to transact. You're not going to need it to be fast. You're not going to need it to have, et cetera, these things that Kaspa has, because it's a reserve asset. The reason gold still works as a reserve asset and people still own gold, even though you can't, like, it's fucking a gold bar. What are you going to do with the gold bar? It's because it's called reserve to flow ratio, right? No, stock to flow. It's called stock to flow. The stock to flow on gold is so good because you can stock it without having to flow it out. So something like oil, the stock to flow is not good, or it's not great. So you could store value in oil, but you're going to use a lot of oil and you're going to sell a lot of oil. So it's not the best store of value. Gold is a fantastic store of value because it's a high stock to flow. You stock it and it doesn't flow out a lot. Bitcoin is now going to become the same thing. When you use something as a reserve asset or to preserve wealth, the idea is that you're not going to move it. You're not going to sell it. You don't need it to use it for payments and transactions and all this other bullshit. So now the idea with Bitcoin being very slow transaction time, which it is a very slow transaction time, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because you're not going to use it to make payments. You don't use the idea of Bitcoin in the beginning was to use as a payment method and for it to be anonymous, but it doesn't make sense for that anymore. It's too slow, too expensive, and right? So when you change the mindset and use it as a reserve asset, it no longer needs to be fast. It no longer has to have good transaction times. It no longer has to be low fees. It doesn't matter. It's you just hold it, so it doesn't have to be fast. So Bitcoin is just going to be clearly the all-time winner. The Kaspa is not going to replace Bitcoin. So a lot of that sexiness to it definitely is gone, because it's essentially just the same thing as Bitcoin, but a little bit better. Better in terms of technology, but the technology doesn't matter is my point. It doesn't matter at this point.